Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of the B Rose podcast series. The first one was about anxiety. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. So, for all those who have watched the last episode, if you remember, the last reason or the last point that I spoke for anxiety was about procrastination, and we all are going through it currently, I suppose. If you are not going through it, great for you, but I am going a lot through it, and with all this time in the world and with so much work to do, all I'm doing is procrastinating, for which I try to find solutions for myself. And recently I came up with a podcast which helped me thoroughly, and about which I'm going to share about with you guys too. The first question that I'm going to ask you is, do you dream big? And do you want to bring those dreams into reality? If yes, you have landed here just perfectly.
So, before listening to our podcast, I just really want all of you to ask yourself 3 questions, because questions are a really great way to get your brain really curious. So, the first one is, why do we procrastinate? Second, how can I use these tips and tricks? Third, when must I use these tips and tricks?
Now the question is, what actually is procrastination? So procrastination is nothing but the act of delaying or postponing a task. So if you decide to do a work and you say, I'll do it tomorrow, that is procrastination. Now, talking in my terms, what my understanding of procrastination is that it is a way of hiding from yourself, which leads to loss of self-esteem, which further leads to loss of hope, which further leads to some more procrastination, and finally it leads to a lot of shame and embarrassment and a lot of despair and sadness. We are filled with it. When you delay a work, what you need to understand is that you train your brain to delay every work, because your subconscious doesn't understand the meaning of big work or small work. For your subconscious, everything is energy. So if you delay a work, you create a pattern for your brain that whenever I'm going to do a task, I'm going to delay it. So when you say that I want to do this, your brain responds to it like, okay, let's do it. But if you don't take action upon it when you decide to, your brain gets used to it, and this leads to unfulfilled dreams. How? If you decide that I am going to start losing weight from next week, and you don't start doing it from next week, but when you said to yourself that you're going to start doing it from next week, your brain responded to it like, okay, next week I'll prepare myself and we can work upon it. But if you don't do it, your brain is like, whenever she requests something me to do, I train myself, I get ready, but she doesn't do the work. So your brain gets the evidence that you are someone who delays the work. So you will keep delaying everything you do. How do you do one thing is actually how you do everything. So how you do the little things in life is also how you will do the big things in life. You can prioritize your work, like this is important and this is not important for me. But for your brain, everything is same. Everything is energy. And if you prioritize your work and make things big and small, for your brain the work is just work. Whether you do it or not is the question which brain responds to. Now if you can't trust yourself to do the small things in life, how can you trust yourself to do the bigger things? Think about it. In our day-to-day lives, we do small tasks. We assign ourselves that's this is what I have to do. You make a to-do list when you wake up. If you don't, you definitely some or the other way decide that this is what you're going to do for the rest of your day, and these are the tasks you need to complete. Now, this could include small tasks and big tasks. For the brain, both of them are equally important. You need to understand that. So if you're avoiding the small tasks, that is how you will also avoid the bigger tasks in future. Not now maybe, but in future, because that is how you're training your brain that okay, I am someone who avoids small tasks, but I want to do the bigger ones. Now the brain is not going to listen to the small and big. The brain is going to listen to yes, I'm going to do the task, or it is going to listen to no, I'm not going to do the task. Psychology says, and it has revealed this term called time inconsistency, which explains why we actually procrastinate. It basically refers to the tendency of the human brain to value immediate rewards more highly than the future rewards. So when you make plans for the future, like the one I gave an example of, losing your weight from next week, you are planning for your future self, and if you don't act upon it on the time you decide, your brain will get used to it. Remember that the future self can set goals. Definitely you can set big goals for yourself, but only and only the present self is the one who is capable of taking the action. All you have to do is cross the action line. Now, what is action line? So there is this line which differentiates two parts of a graph. One is procrastination and the other is action. So when you cross the action line, that is where all your sadness will start getting subdued and your happiness will start rising, because that is where you will start increasing your productivity. All you have to do is cross that action line. Now when you cross the action line, no matter if you complete the task or not, you will definitely have the satisfaction of doing something for it. You know, it doesn't matter whether you complete the task or not. It matters if you were productive or not, if you did your best or not. If you do your best, you will give your brain the evidence that I am trying and I will try till I can. This will lead to fulfilled dreams. Now there are two reasons why people procrastinate. One, they are very lazy, and two, that particular work doesn't resonate with their vibration. In simple terms, it means that you're not meant to do it. It is not meant for you. That work is not meant for you. Now talking about part 1, which is laziness. With all the social media around, we tend to get distracted very easily. We scroll through our Instagram like for hours and hours together, and this distracts us and it procrastinates, and that is how your work is not completed. For reason number 2, if you are procrastinating and even with lot of time, even without social media, you're doing it, that means that the work is not meant for you. I'm not giving a rigid decision on this, but maybe you can think about it a little. Whether you actually want to do this work, whether that 9-to-5 job is meant for you, whether that particular course you are approaching is meant for you or not. You have to decide that for yourself. How can you do that? Take a day off from everything in the world, from every kind of external references. Take a break from it, from social media, family, friends. Give yourself a day. See what you do the whole day, how you spend your day. If you're working, after doing this or after taking that action, if you're working, you're on your laptop, you're completing your assignment and you're finding satisfaction in doing it, you're finding interest, you will realize that it is meant for you. But on the other hand, if you try this for like 2-3 days and you still don't feel like working on it, maybe, just maybe, it is not meant for you. Think about it. Now, after knowing the cause of procrastination, I'm going to tell you about the types of procrastination. There are 4 types of procrastination. You might have never heard about it. Even I did not earlier. So number 1 is anxious procrastination. This happens when you're very bad at time management and you keep thinking about this is when you'll do it, this is when you'll do it, and you just keep processing this and you never start the work actually. So in the end, when the deadline is near, you assign yourself a burden of tasks to do with no fun and no rest with them. And these unrealistic goals, which are not achievable, will lead to anxiety. And that is how you become an anxious procrastinator. For this, the solution is only to understand time management, to assign tasks which are achievable and realistic. You will understand this by knowing yourself, like what are you capable of. You don't have to over expect from yourself, you don't have to be over ambitious. Even if you are, it's okay, but you'll have to manage it, or else you'll end up being the anxious procrastinator, and this is an endless loop. The second one is the fun procrastination. Now this person, the fun procrastinator, is the one who will do anything except the required task. This person is distracted all the time and he doesn't know when to do, what to do, but he definitely knows when to have fun and how to have fun. For this person, the required task will be the least of the least priority. And for this person, the solution is that he completes all the fun tasks first, but this time quickly. And then when he completes all the tasks which is above the least priority one, which is supposedly the most important one, after completing all the fun tasks in time, this person will get the time to do the required task, and hence he is going to have fun, but it's going to be a win-win because he's even being productive. The third one is plenty of time procrastination. Now this person is someone who thinks that he has all the time in the world to complete this task, and there is never a deadline, and he keeps delaying that, like I have time, I can do this later, and in the end the productivity is reduced and this person doesn't end up doing anything. The solution for this kind of a procrastinator is that you can set a deadline for yourself and you tell it to someone. Tell it to a friend, tell it to your mom, dad, anyone you can trust. And it will be the best if you tell someone who embarrasses you the most, or who taunts you the most. It will be like really helpful if you tell someone like this, because now not only will you complete your task in time, but you will do a good job at it to reduce the embarrassment, to avoid all of those taunts which will come up once that deadline is approached. The last one is a perfectionist procrastinator. Now a perfectionist procrastinator is the one who criticizes his work all the time and is never satisfied with it, and keeps thinking about it, like how should I start, the perfect moment, the perfect time, and that time basically never comes. But these are the ones who are who end up being the most productive, because for like them there is 99% perfection, and that is what they think about all the time, and when the deadline comes they will only be able to do the adequate work, and that adequate work is normally the one which is required.
So sometimes perfectionism becomes a problem in the sense that we want to get everything done so perfectly that even a slight mistakes just makes us want to give up, right? We end up doing nothing because we are like, okay, this did not get done properly and this is not so much in alignment, and shit, that this mistake just happened, right? And we end up doing nothing. So what can we do about it is, take the messy actions, like just do something and show up. And with time, with repetition, the work gets easier and better. It does get better.
Now let's come down to the most important part, that is how to stop procrastination. Number 1, make rewards for yourself for doing the action more immediately. Set rewards for yourself, that this is what I'll get when I complete this task at this time. Set rewards for yourself. It is actually helpful. Number 2 is build temptations for yourself. For example, only watch this movie after you get this assignment done. If you set a goal like that, you will build a temptation for yourself that I will get to watch this movie if I complete this task immediately, or if I complete this task fast. Number 3 is design your future actions and commit to it. You can set alarms for yourself, and you can use applications. There are various. The one I use is Google Calendar. So you can set tasks for a particular day. If you can be good at scheduling, if you are used to it, you can detail it out for a particular day, and you can actually, Google Calendar helps you a lot, where it has many features which you can use, and it will ping you whenever that task is about to happen or you need to do that task. Number 4 is make your tasks more achievable. Now this means that don't burden yourself with giving 10 to 12 tasks each day for yourself, big tasks. Give yourself achievable tasks which you think you can complete. If you burden yourself, you will again end up being the anxious procrastinator who is left in despair all the time. Number 5 is be consistent. Now this is the key which will kick out your procrastination habit instantly. All you have to do is commit and decide that you will be consistent. Number 6 is minimize your distractions. Now when you assign yourself a task, make sure that you are away from social media for a while until you complete that task. Or maybe if you are addicted to social media a lot, and for example every day at 3 p.m. you use Instagram for half an hour or 1 hour, decide your tasks around it then. It can be vice versa, or it can be this way, where you decide your tasks around it, or you decide your fun tasks around your important tasks. Number 7 is make a policy to finish off the task as soon as you get it. Now this is the best one. You don't have to wait for the next second or the next day. You can complete the task immediately as soon as you get it. Number 7 is actually a hack. It's called the 5 4 3 2 1 rule. Now in this, what you have to do is, when you are procrastinating or when you're thinking about it a lot and you're overthinking and you're processing all of it, just say 5 4 3 2 1 and get up. Start doing it. Take the action. This best works in waking up in the morning. So when you decide to wake up at 6 a.m., your alarm rings and you are just about to snooze it, just say 5 4 3 2 1 and get up. Just get off your bed, declutter and start your day.
So there is something known as brain fog, you guys, and what it actually is in simpler words is we pile up our brain with loads of information and work to do. Like, yes, we are excited about the work that we want to do. We take out a paper and we write out all that we want to do, and we actually are excited about it. Like, we want to do it, but then we end up doing nothing because of the anxiety. Like, when you start doing one thing in your brain, what is going on? Like, I have to complete this thing, and then I have to start with another thing, and when that gets over, I have to start doing this another thing. So it's a loop, and then you end up doing nothing because, like, the first work does not get done, right? So how to deal with this? So the first thing you can do is to stop the overwhelm of it. Figure out the 3 things that you want to do, which will, when you sleep at the night, you feel like, yes, I got something done, and you feel satisfied when you sleep. So figure out 3 things that you can do that day out of all the 10 work that you decided to do. Yes, write down all those 10 tasks or 5 tasks that you really want to do, but then filter out 3 important things, right? Start with 3. And then what I want you to do is make a 2 manifest list instead of 2 do list. Now then what you do after that is make a list of 5 things or 5 tasks that you're gonna do that day. And the first 2 being as simple as brushing your teeth or making the bed, right? Now, why did I, choose these 2? Because these are so simple, and these will get done so easily that, you're gonna be like, after doing these 2 things, you're gonna be like, man, I want to do the 3rd one. I want to do the 4th one. Plus, you tell your brain that, I can get things done. Like, I can trust myself and I can do all these other things, right? So then, also you can do one more thing. You take out a paper, first thing, and you're gonna write out, the only thing I'm gonna do today is dash. Like, the first one was brushing your teeth, right? And when you get that done, cross it off. Then after that work gets done, you're gonna take another paper, or you can just write in your phone's note section, like, the only thing I'm gonna do today is dash. So then what happens because of this is your brain is not overwhelmed with so much of information and tasks that it's gonna do. Like, you just have one task in hand. So the next thing you can do is affirm to yourself, like, I get things done. I get all of my work done. Or, this work is so easy. Like, my work is so easy, right? So the next thing is try and make the work fun. Like, ask the universe, like, thank you, universe, for making this work fun. And while you're doing the work, just say to yourself, I love doing this work. This work is so much fun, right? The next thing we can do is imagine ourselves doing the work. And how do we feel when we're doing the work? Like, you can imagine a screen in front of you. Close your eyes. Imagine there's a screen in front of you and you're doing the work, and it is so easy to do, and you are actually doing it. And how does it feel when you're doing it? You feel satisfied, like, yes, you're doing the work, right? That's what the emotions you need to feel at that point of time. So sometimes perfectionism becomes a problem in the sense that we want to get everything done so perfectly that even a slight mistakes just makes us want to give up, right? We end up doing nothing because we are like, okay, this did not get done properly, and this is not so much in alignment, and this mistake just happened, right? And we end up doing nothing. So what can we do about it is, take the messy actions, like, just do something and show up. And with time, with repetition, the work gets easier and better. It does get better. And basically, we just need to, stop judging ourselves based upon how many mistakes you did. At least you're doing it. Like, pat your own back and, just clap for yourself. Like, you did this work. However messy it is, however, so many mistakes you did in it, but you did it, right? You did it. So pat yourself about it and do not judge yourself, and take the messy action. Yes.
And there is one thing which I will like to repeat, that is, if you can't trust yourself to do the small things in life, how can you expect yourself to do the bigger things? Keep this in mind. This will help you thrive. If you have big goals, you want to achieve them, Start by completing the small tasks that are required for you to do and start taking action upon them, because your future self can make dreams, make visions for you, but only your present self is capable of taking that action. Take that action and allow your present self to get the reward for it, which your future self will give you. Always remember that life is happening for us and not to us. You are the creator of your own life. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today.